Good morning again, and this is Dr. Bill White with the American Orthodontic Society, and I'm going to discuss one more surgical case with you. We're not going to be talking about the surgery all that much, but the thing about taking records, when somebody transfers to your office, it's just the best thing to take some new records and start out completely on a new contract and everything with that person. You don't want to pick up where they are. You got to figure out what you have to do to finish the case and give them a price for that, regardless of what they paid previously to whoever, and look at what you're fixing to do before you make your step to tell them what you can do. And that's where I made a mistake here. This person came to me and they were irritated with the previous orthodontist. He had started out with just doing some regular orthodontics and then came to them and said he was going to have to do surgery on them. And they were very irritated with that. I mean, that's a whale of a big increase in what you have to pay and everything else. And so they were very irritated, and they came into the office, and I looked at the case, and it didn't look all that bad. I thought, well, there's no reason for me to have to do surgery on this. I can do this all right. I just looked at it. But I didn't look at the x-rays on the case. Well, the x-rays they brought with them were fine, you know. But then I x-rayed it, and I'll show you what we were up against, and you did have to do some surgery. So here is this case, and you can learn a lot if you can watch this. A very nice lady. Very attractive young lady, and she had the braces on, and they had a good system of putting the braces in double tubes and everything, which I'll show you in a minute. Now, this is the models that they brought with them. This was what the lady had in 1982, and this looked pretty simple, really. And I can't figure out what happened to this case, but this is 9 of 82, so you keep up with the dates. It's a very minor thing. The right, well, I say minor, it's not all that minor either. This is a good class 1 case on the right side of the mouth. And then when you look at the, well, let me go back to the center. You see the center line, the midline here, and then the midline over here. So this side is class 2, and this side is class 1. So that's a little bit of a problem to do, and you would have to bring this forward, you see. So you'd have to open the bind, and it'd be almost edge to edge out here when you brought this over to class 1, but you could do that. It might be too protrusive. And so the guy had taken out some teeth on the case, and it didn't work, whatever he approached. Now you can see this is a class 2 side. This molar right here ought to be out in this area, and it's back here. And this side should be that much further. And you saw how much the midline was off up there in the front part of the mouth. Okay. And looking at the model from this, they would have expanded this out and made a little more room, and they could have brought the thing forward, but she probably would have been too protrusive. And so you could have taken some teeth out if you had to. You could have solved it by some stripping or IPR, just reducing the size of the teeth. You might could have gotten enough to do that. I don't know. So this was 9 of 1982 when they started. Now here they're coming back in 9 of 1983. This is a year later in the case. And instead of looking better, and this is a good system he's got. I mean, he has a double tubes back here. He has an auxiliary wire up here. Looks like trying to pick this up and maybe close some of this space. And he's taking out the bicuspid right in there. And I don't condemn that at all. You know, if he felt like that's what he had to do. He has a good closing loop on this right here, bringing this back. But when he did, the bite closed down dentally. And if you remember a while ago, it wasn't closed dentally when he started. So those teeth went up. On the other side of the mouth, the same thing. Looks a pretty good approach to it. And that's a little close up on this. You see this auxiliary, this segmented wire. It goes in and is tied in right here on that. And he might be trying to pick this up. He should have, he should have something to bring this down in front. But I don't want to criticize what he was doing if he'd done it right and everything. But here's a year later. It's in far worse shape than it was when it started. So anyway, so he came to them and said, I'm going to have to do surgery on you to be able to finish this case. Well, he didn't explain really the reason why he had to do the surgery, apparently because they didn't seem to have any idea about this. And so I said, yeah, well, I can finish this case out without surgery. I can do a lot of things with it, but the bite is closed up completely, and it was back up here, and now it's back there, and it's up touching the gum tissue up at the top. I don't know how that happened. And there's a close-up of that. The lower anterior teeth. This is a mirror shot, and you see these teeth in here, but that's where the lower anterior teeth are touching the gum tissue up above. And now they brought the jaw forward a little bit and took another picture of it, and it's forward, but it really goes way back there. All right, here is the x-ray that I got when the person came to my office. They showed me this x-ray, and they've got good roots on these teeth. I mean, there's real good roots on there. No problem at all. And I thought, well, there wouldn't be any difficulty in me doing the case without surgery. Everything is lined up here quite good, and I can do that. It's just got the teeth out, and I could have shifted and moved around and got the teeth in there. And so without really doing my records and going over them thoroughly and figuring out what I would need to do, I told them I could do this. And that's a mistake, you see. And that's one thing I want you to watch. Now, I took the records. At least I took them, thank goodness. And somebody could have tried to talk you out. Well, why do the records? Here's everything right here. But I took the records, and I always did that. And I normally would go over this, but I didn't get the x-rays developed and everything laid out while they were there. But as soon as they left, I was had some time, and I went back and I went over these records. And here is what I saw. This is the X-ray taken in 1983, right here, 9/13, looks like 23 of 83. And boy, when I looked at this, I thought, my God, what have I done? I told those folks I could go in here and straighten all this up. I'd have to move these teeth all over the place. And I thought, well, if they resolved that much in whatever this person was doing, I could not do this just with regular orthodontics. You might could section this off and move it and not disturb the teeth much. And I talked with an oral surgeon, and he said, well, we'll have to go in here and do oral surgery on this thing. So I had to get them back in there, and I showed them exactly what was wrong, and they could understand that we needed to do the surgery. And so we set out right then to do the surgery. And this is a little closer up on that. And these centrals are very little root structure, man. I'll handle them with kid gloves. Excuse me. And so here we've set up with some models for doing the surgery, and the surgeon does this, and he sections and figures out everything he's going to need to do and tells you what he wants you to do, and you can do that. And he's just interested in somebody that knows how to do orthodontics and can help him in what he's doing. And he went through all what he was going to do, and we set out to do the surgery. And we did. We went ahead and did the surgery, and I fixed the arch wires up and put the little hooks and all that on the arch wire to wire this together. And I've got some pictures that he took while it was wired up, or else she came in while they were wired up. And I've got pictures of them. So we were set out to do the surgery to do this. Now, if I had not taken those records, and I had started this case, and I had worked on this person just one time, I mean, I had taken the case. It was my baby, man, and you have something there you've got to finish. Now, if I had fallen prey to this, then I would have been screwed up. You know, I would have done this case, everything. So, anyway, we went into the surgery, but I had explained all of this, but I was late in doing it and had to back up, you know, and say, well, I made a mistake there. Okay, here is the surgery. The case was cut the maxilla loose and all this, and put them back in place and wired it up, and tied the teeth together again, and let it go back. Now, he could not do the surgery and close this space, so we ended up putting a bridge of tooth that the person had taken out, you see. And so you'll see this is a false tooth right there on that bridge, but we finished it up like this. And this is 1985, so we went from 83 to 85. That's January, just barely at 85. So we haven't been in the case all that long. And this is the way it looks. I'm going to show it to you in 1994 here. There's a little relapse on the case. That's 85. 85, you can see she's wearing this retainer. We've got a retainer in there holding the thing. And it's lined up pretty good, but somewhere in there she didn't wear this thing. And we'll show it to you in 95. 94. Okay, that's the retainer with it. I think this is, we're looking at it there in 85. Okay, here it is in 1994. This is about 9 years later, and you see a little relapse right here. So she's left that thing out, or something has gone haywire in there. And then this ridge right here was hitting the lower tooth, and so it's gonna affect it. It's already affected it, and I'll show you. You see this? Well, this is down here. Now, if you look at the way this, so I took a close-up picture, just put a mirror right down on those teeth. You see this little cingulum right in here? This thing should be trimmed off. If you see this on somebody, and the one tooth is going to hit here and not hit over here, it has no hope other than it'll go back on this side and in on this side, and the tooth will rotate, and it'll change from this tooth over here. So when people have these marginal ridges and things that are high like that, go in and trim them down and try to make a little shelf for the teeth to rest on the shelf. And the retention, the long-term retention, will be much better. Even though you put a bonded retainer on there, it'll finally give up if this thing is hitting like that. So that's another good lesson to learn from this. And you trim this up. You see this tooth is hitting up here, pushing it back in this direction. And so that messes with your lower anterior teeth. If you trim those and make a little shelf, a little platform for them to come up on, it'll make a lot of difference to it. So this is the end of this video, and the thing I want you to learn in here is take records. Every time somebody transfers into your office and asks you to take over a case like that, then that needs to be done. And I'm going to close out now and stop this. Thank you for watching. Hope you get something from this.